What's going on, everybody? Murk back here again, your unfriendly host of this, and also very salty. I apologize for last week once again, and we still need a rematch for that game. But anyways, this is PGL Minors week 3. We're sitting at 2-0 right now, and our opponent is Brett, coach of the Broadview Braviaries, so of course, minus a few points from Gryffindor for the alliteration, but that's okay, we'll let it slide. He is 2-0 or 1-1, I'm not exactly sure. He hasn't played his match yet at the time that I've been recording. That's Twitter, okay. We'll probably see that pop up a few times. But anyways, he's got a pretty scary team. He has Manphy, Mega Scizor, Tapu Koko, Mamoswine, Heatran, Latios, Hitmontop, Volcarona, Roserade, Excelgor, and Garbodor. So as you can see, he has a whole ton of threats, and also we have a couple new friends coming this week. I decided to drop the combination of Xurkitree and Alolan Golem for Thunderous Eye and Metagross because the points work out like that, and I think that's a much better two mons than the ones I had originally. I do think that Xurkitree is not as good as Thunderous, but it was worth 50 points more, so I was able to finagle things, so I got two really good mons for one pretty good mon and not that great mon. So that's cool. I'm a fan. It's really hard to like maneuver my hands around my microphone. It's weird, but yeah, so first off, let's look at some notes on his team. His team is, it's pretty fast, ranging from 75 to 145, nothing slower and nothing faster than the Excelgor. Well, nothing slower than the Hitmontop at 70. So he's got a pretty interesting range. It kind of matches up with our ranges, so we'll be able to get some speed advantages here and there and then lose out on some speed stuff elsewhere, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. Manaphy is pretty spooky, but I have a lot of threats. I haven't fully looked at the team, so let's just, first thing we do, let's go down the list of my mons. So Ashgren, I took a quick look before this, it absolutely destroys his team. Once I get in the Ash form, everything's dying, so that's going to be the goal there. I definitely think that Gren is something I want to bring. Then Kyurem Black, Manaphy is not a switch-in. Scizor looks like it's going to be his best counter. Like, Kyurem really manhandles his team, so that's something that I want. And he has a lot of hazards, so that just immediately makes me want to run Blastoise. So, alright, we already got half the team down. That leaves me without a rocker, and his team is pretty rocks weak, so that's going to incline me to bring Nidoqueen, Cobalion, or Metagross. Out of those, let's see, so Metagross, well, let's continue running down the list before I get too sidetracked. Thunderous checks the Manaphy. It can take on the Scizor. It can check the Tapu Koko. It can check the Mamoswine potentially, though I don't really want to take an Ice Shard. Outspeeds and hits the Heatran for some damage. Same thing with the Latios. Hitmontop doesn't really want to take this. It's nice to potentially paralyze Volcarona. Something like HP Flying would be really good on this team. So Thunderous is a strong maybe. Silvally always that thing that is a potential go. Silvally Fire might not be bad because it lets me check the Volk, lets me check the Roserade, and the Scizor. So that could definitely be a bring. But I'll definitely have to think about that a little more. Silvally is definitely a mon that requires a little bit of thinking before you use it. Next, Nidoqueen doesn't really appreciate Manaphy. It can check the Scizor with Flamethrower. It is a very good check to Tapu Koko. Doesn't like Mamoswine. Mamoswine could be an issue on this team. Heatran, Nidoqueen can beat it. Doesn't really like the Latios either. Beats up Hitmontop. It can possibly check Volcarona, possibly check the Roserade, check these guys. So Nidoqueen looks pretty good. I'm going to tentatively put that as another mon I want. Bulu, let's see. So he's got the Scizor, which is like obviously going to be a switch in. Heatran as a backup is pretty decent. Latios can't switch in. Volcarona can't switch in. He doesn't have a lot that can switch in. He could bring the Garbodor because that resists my dual stabs. And I think I would I would possibly want to run a mix set, and it would help me reduce the damage off of Mamo's EQs if I wanted to go down that route, but we'll see. So I'm not exactly feeling Bulu on this team. Maybe like a Scarf set could be good. I'll keep that in the back of my mind. But next we got Cobalion. Cobalion's outspeeding the Manphy and the Scizor. Offensively checks Mamo and Heatran. Can potentially offensively check the Volcarona and the Roserade. So it's pretty strong mon. Kofag. Kofag's a mon that I want to be able to check things. I can spin block a Hitmontop, but there's no guarantees that he will even bring it, and he can't just bring Defog since he's got 2 Defoggers on his team, and he does have a lot of hazard potential, which is definitely why I want to bring Blastoise. Talonflame. Talonflame outspeeds a majority of its team, and Talonflame actually just looks wonderful in this matchup. It doesn't really check the Manaphy, but checks the Scizor. I can outspeed the Mamoswine and get damage off on it. I can chip at the Heatran. I can chip away at the Latios and outrun it. It really threatens out these 3 right here, which could be annoying to the team. And then it can switch into the Excelgor, possibly, which is something that I like. So I definitely like the look of that. So is that 6 months? That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we got 5 slots. We got 5 slots, and I think these are all really strong mons against him, but I just want to put this into Showdown and see what it looks like. So we have Greninja, got Kyurem, Black, I can't type, what else is new, Nidoqueen, because Nidoqueen like always comes to every single match I've ever played ever, pretty much, Talon, Flame, and Blastoise. So that's 5 mons. Let's think of what can beat this course. So Mamoswine is pretty threatening. However, Blastoise can take a hit from it, knock it out. Kyurem can check it, and Greninja can check it, and it needs to run like rock coverage for the Talonflame, because I don't think it can one-shot me with like a ice move, depending on my set. And it looks like I can run a pretty bulky one, because all I have to do is outrun the Latios, which is pretty nice for me. So I can put some nice bulk on there, and I think just Swords Dance Talonflame is an incredible win condition, especially since Greninja and Nidoqueen and Blastoise and Kyurem all really pressure that Heatran, and I don't think I'm gonna bring Bulu so that I don't give him any extra recovery. And let's just see how good of recovery he has. So he's Roost Scizor, Roost Koko, Roost Latios, Volcarona can Roost up, Synthesis. I think this thing can recover. I think it gets recover. And Manaphy can Rain Rest, of course. So we've got to be able to deal with a lot of sets. So out of the 6, things that look the scariest to this team in particular would be like a Slackberry or a Z Rain Dance Manaphy. So, yeah, that's very, very scary. I mean, just fast mons in general look a little bit spooky. So that kind of makes me want to run something like a Scarfed Thundurus. I think that could be interesting, because that outspeeds like all of his potential Scarfers, Bart, and Excelgor. What does he have for ground types? His electric immunities are Mamoswine. No. His electric immunity is a Mamoswine. So I think Scarf Thundurus would be pretty good in this, because just being able to outrun speed boosting threats would be pretty nice for my cause. Those Z-move Thundurus would also be very strong. I think I have an idea for what I want to do with my Z-move. So we got 6, which is like way faster than I've ever done it. And I just want to run a calc. Greninja, Greg. Let's just say I'm timid, because I probably have to be timid for his team. Manaphy. And there's one little fun tech that he might not know about, is that Grassnut with the Z-move is really, really strong. Yeah, that's pretty strong. Doing a lot of damage to the point where he's probably going to die after rocks to a Bloom Doom off a Grassnot, because it's got 160 base power. I've been thinking about this all day, and I don't know, and I want to know. I want to see how much power Reversal has off of a Z move. It has 160 base power. Okay, I wanted to know. I know that like nothing on my team gets Reversal, I don't think, but it's just something I needed to know. So I want to run Gracium Z Greninja with, of course, Battle Bond. We want Grass Knot. We want Hydro Pump. What else do we need? So Grass Knot, Hydro. I think we want Dark Pulse and maybe HP Fire for the Sizz. Yeah, that could be good. Either that or Ice Beam to hit his Roserade, though Dark Pulse is still doing decent damage and HP Fire is doing decent damage, and it looks like I can have some pretty nice checks to the Roserade. So for the moment, I'm going to go 4 attacks on this thing because this set just looks like it totally tears him apart, especially if I get into Ash form. I should just like murder everything. If I am in Ash form, then I will outspeed the Tapu Koko. So I want to see, obviously I want to outrun the Koko when I'm in Ash form, because I definitely think this is a game where I can get into that formation. So 394, so I need to hit 395. Oh, freaking jump numbers. So I have to run 200 speed timid, which is okay. That's totally fine. Obviously having Water Shuriken on this thing would be kind of nice for picking off speedy threats, but my rationale with that is that I'm only hitting a few things that are speeding up, like the Excelgor, which it's probably not doing that much to, and Volcarona's boosting its special defense, so I don't think that's going to be the greatest thing. Just going to take a sip. Stay hydrated, kids. I'm sorry, that was weird. Anyways, yeah, this set just looks like it completely fucks him up. So let's just see if I'm Gracium, well, it doesn't really matter, Ghostium Z, sure. Let's just run the 4 moves I'm doing with this set. Grass. I'm assuming it just kind of destroys everything. So Hydro just kills Koko after rocks. Sizz, I want to see how much it does to Sizz. Mega, if he's that very bulky set, HP Fire does a ton. If he's like max Spadef Sizz, then HP Fire is still a 2-hit KO, and Pump into HP Fire is always going to knock it out, which is really good. In my base form, I have 103 special attack, so it's a roll to 2-hit KO. It's definitely a kill if I have my thingy, if I have like hazards up, so that's cool. Yeah, that looks pretty nice for Greninja. I just want to, I should certainly knock out the Manaphy with a Z move. Grass Knot from this form. Oh yeah, let's see if I can knock out the bulky set. After rocks, I can knock out if he runs Fizz Def, then I just kill it, which that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, this thing is an enormous threat to his team. And is there anything I'm missing speed-wise? No, because if I wasn't, because I want to outspeed everything aside from the Excelgor when I'm in Ash form, including the Tapu Koko. So that means I have to run a lot of speed on it because I'm 132 and that's 130. If I wasn't caring about that, then I could just speed creep the Latios and get speed. But if I'm not able to speed creep down to the point where I can run modest, it doesn't really matter how much HP a Greninja has. Like, it'll let me take a Bullet Punch better, I guess, or a Scald from Manaphy or something like that. But it's not that big of a deal. I guess I'll just throw this in. It doesn't matter. I'll just throw it in HP. 289. Yeah, that's cool. Next, we got Kyurem. Let's just go over some basic things that we need on the team. So this team certainly wants to have Rapid Spin, and I think I definitely want Stealth Rocks as well, because Rocks really pressure his team, and that's cool. Kyurem. What do I want my Kyurem to do? So I can run it a few ways. I can run a really bulky set again, which would let me check the Roserade, which would be really nice. I could check the Volcarona with it. And, oh shit, I have like nothing for Latios. That's kind of bad. That makes me want to run Hobbenberry, like straight up. That would be pretty nice. Yeah, Hobbenberry would be very good against him. I'm definitely gonna run Flame Body on my Talonflame too for his Scizor. I don't really want to run Fire Coverage on my Kyurem just because like most of my team is gonna have it, and I'd rather have, and I can switch into the Scizor really nicely with my Talonflame, and my Blastoise can chew a hit and that sort of thing, and same with Thundurus. So what do I want on this set? I want Fusion Bolt, looks pretty nice for the Manaphy. That's about it, though it does get the electric terrain boost, which lets me get off a pretty strong hit on some stuff. Kyurem Black. If I'm like lonely, adamant, I probably won't be this set, but just for fun, let's see how much an electric terrain boosted thing is doing. I just Oko Manaphy. If I'm jolly, then it's a roll. If I'm no attack, it's still a roll after rocks, so that's really strong. I think I want to run a physical set with like Fusion Bolt, Dragon Claw, and Iron Head. Does that give me the coverage that I want? So I can Fusion Bolt this, and Fusion Bolt that. I guess Iron Head the Koko. I'm not too worried about Tapu Koko because I do have my Nidoqueen, which should be able to check it pretty nicely. And I don't think Koko can cure him anyways. I can Iron Head Mamoswine, I can Fusion Bolt the Heatran for some good damage, Dragon Claw that Latios. I can't hit the Hitmontop too hard, but I should be able to take care of that nicely. I should be able to Dragon Claw the Volcarona for nice damage. Roserade's getting blopped by Dragon Claw. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I think physical this set, and I want to run 3 attacks: Dragon Claw, Fusion Bolt. Wait, do I even need Iron Head? I could run Dual Stab with, well, it doesn't mean it means I can't hit Koko that hard, but let's just see how much. Okay, Fusion Bolt really doesn't do much. Wow. Well, if I max attack, it's still not doing much. But how much is Iron Head doing in contrast? Iron Head. It doesn't do that much more. And versus Mamoswine, it's another thing worth noticing. Dragon Claw is a nice 2-hit KO, and Iron Head can't one-shot him. So yeah, that's a thing. I kind of want to run like a subset, because behind a sub I really threaten his team and force him to attack me, and I get nice chip damage off, which is cool beans with me. So I think I want to go, yeah, those 2 moves, and then Roost and Substitute. This is just a nice way to threaten his team, and if I can, like, I believe Greninja can super duper threaten his team like game. So yeah, I want to run Hobbenberry because this team has like, it just dies to Draco Meteor, so I want to help with that as much as I can. I'm not sure what I want to do with Nidoqueen just yet, so I'm just going to go right out into Talonflame. I want Roost on this set because I'm going to be switching into to a fair bit of his team. And then of course Brave Bird, or do I even want Acrobatics? That's a thought to have. Yeah, Acro Talon would be kind of nice, but it would be pretty nice. Let's just see what the damage difference is. Talon, Flame, Careful, Gallons, whatever. The damage difference between that and Brave Bird. So that's a Landsat Berry. I think I'll probably run an offensive set, so both of these are 2-hit carrying Mamoswine after rocks, and Icicle Crash is not going to knock me out, which is good. Like Roserade, both knock it out. Volcarona, yeah, both kill it, which is cool. Oh yeah, big one is Latios. Yeah, it's getting to it KO'd by both of them, so I kind of want to run Acro on my bird. However, Manaphy, that's another one. Neither are a 2-hit KO, but I think SD Acro is going to be better because it's just more spammable against his team. Swords Dance, Acrobatics, and I think just Flare Blitz as my other move is going to be the best option here because hitting the Scizor is nice, though I could just run Will-O-Wisp and just be able to deal with it that way. I could run Taunt. Would Taunt be a good option here? This +2 bird move just decimates his team. I really don't need much for a last move. I want to see something. I wonder if Flame Charge will do enough to a Scizor. It probably won't, but this would be kind of cool. Mega Sizz, so a +2. It doesn't knock it out, whereas I'm gonna have to be Jolly, I think, for this matchup. Flame Charge versus Flare Blitz. Yeah, Flare Blitz like super duper extra kills it, whereas Flame Charge does not. However, like, is he gonna stay in with the Scizor? Possibly, probably. Well, certainly not. I'm gonna be a little ballsy and just go without it because Will-O-Wisp looks just very, very nice to be able to cripple the Mamoswine, and like if I burn the Scizor, then it just becomes setup fodder for me, which is really great. And Burn is a really good utility for my team because while it doesn't get a lot of chip damage off against him, it is weakening his team ever so slightly, and just being able to weaken his physical attackers is good. Another option potentially would be like, I could do Swords Dance, probably not though. U-turn is another option, though I want some way to do a good job of dealing with the Sizz. So this set's going to struggle with like Heatran. However, I got this Nidoqueen, I got this Blastoise, and I got this Gren, all of which are really pressuring it. And my Bulu isn't going to give it free health, and Kyurem does do a pretty good job of threatening it as well. Let's just see how much Kyurem does to it. Kyurem B, Jolly, max attack versus Heatran. Okay, that's with Electric Terrain. If it's offensive, Fusion Bolt is possible chance at 2-hit KO, but he can't really kill me back with anything, even if he has Flash Cannon. Yeah, Flash Cannon can't kill unless he's Z-move. And if he is a defensive set, which is very possible, then, or just bulky set, then Fusion Bolt is a nice 3-hit KO with the rocks. The lefties might change that a little bit. And yeah, so it's basically a 3-hit KO with rocks, and with Electric Terrain up, it's probably a 2-hit KO, which is cool. So if he brings the Koko, then that's benefiting me a little more than it might be benefiting him, which is pretty nice. Let's see. Because I really want my Nidoqueen to be able to switch into his Koko, I think I want to run Black Sludge on it, because that just helps me mitigate, or just get more health back, which is really nice. I messed up. Black Sludge. And then, like, for coverage, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Fire Punch wouldn't be bad. Because I'm missing out on coverage on the Scizor and the Manaphy, but if I'm looking extremely weak to those at the end, then I guess I'll change stuff up, but I think I can just deal with those because that Volcarona looks pretty spooky though. Do I really need... How much is Earthquake going to be doing to a Volcarona from a probably just like max attack Nidoqueen? I don't know, we'll see. Let's just say I'm Adamant, with Never Melt Ice. Sure. I mean, Neo Queen's still pretty strong. Earthquake's a nice 2-hit KO, while Fire Blast does do a lot back. So that could be a thing. Kyurem can also just take a hit from the Volk and do a lot of damage in return. So EQ is nice for the Coco because it helps me check a Calm Mindset better. And then Fire Punch to hit Scizor for good damage. And then I guess Ice Punch would be pretty nice for... Well, it just hits the Latios. And though this set gets hard-walled by Latios right now. Ice Punch. Actually, I could run Crunch, which would get slightly better coverage against his team than Ice Punch would, because Ice Punch is only hitting Latios, and Crunch is a little stronger actually, and it gets better neutral overall coverage. So let's go with that. EQ, Crunch, and Fire Punch. And I'll just go Sheer Force for a little extra damage. Not sure what I want to do with my EV spreads for these guys just yet. I want to finish out my movesets before I do anything like that. And Blastoise is nice for defensive purposes and just offensive purposes because it really threatens his team. I think just Scald is nice and pretty free against his team. Scald Ice Beam looks good because I can't hit the Manaphy with that, but hits Scizor for damage. That hits most of his team for very nice damage, aside from like Manaphy, but I can run something a little more interesting. Ice Beam. And I think something like Roar on my Blastoise would be a pretty cool tech, so that I can mess up any setup opportunities that he's trying to gain from me being in. Though Haze as well would be pretty cool. Let's just take a quick jaunt through this moveset. It's enormous how many moves it gets, and it's ridiculous. Water Spout, probably not. Yeah. I mean, Scald Ice Beam is, for the most part, what I'm gonna need in this game. Mirror Coat's always a cool idea. What if we had, like... I got a move in mind. What if we had, like, wait, I already forgot it. Wow. I was thinking maybe Aqua Jet. That would be kind of cool. But probably not. And for that last move, Scald, Ice Beam, Rapid Spin, so I think either Haze or Roar is what I want to go with. Does it get Haze? Yeah, it gets Haze. I want to go with Haze for now because the Roar would also be nice, but it makes it a little harder late for last mon, but that's just something that I can play with. But Roar Blastoise sounds pretty nice, especially with how weak his team is to rocks. Like it's a very rocks weak team, and I think he's going to be more inclined to run Defog rather than Rapid Spin because I do have the Kofag. I said that word, Kofagrigus, yeah. So that's another thing worth considering, and if he does bring Defog, that means he'll probably be a little less inclined to Hazard Stack. Maybe, also knowing that I have a very reliable spinner in this guy, and he doesn't really have a way to stop that, aside from lots of offensive pressure. So we've got our movesets down, aside from this Thunderous. Obviously, we want Thunderbolt, and Volt Switch sounds very nice. T-Bolt, Volt Switch. I don't get the Electric Terrain boost, which is too bad. Sludge Wave for the Coco sounds pretty nice, though his team is hard to pin down for coverage, which is a little too bad. HP Flying is pretty strong against him late game, so I kind of want to throw that on there. And I guess... yeah, Sludge Wave is just having that way to hit the Coco hard is something that I don't want to exactly pass up on. Especially since how it outspeeds my team, and it could be a little scary late game if I don't have like anything for it. So this team is still, I don't think it's as good versus Scizor as it could be, but like I do have the Talonflame, which can beat it, and I think because of how this team is going down, I'm just gonna put Flare Blitz here so that I have that just 100% way to knock out the Stiz, because that's just looking like a big threat. But how's he going to check Ashgren, I wonder? He could run Scarf Coco. Bulky Stiz is an option. I think a bulky Roserade is something he might do. And I think Excelgor is a mon that's going to come, just because it can outrun my Greninja and really threaten it out. So let's kind of think, what mons versus me is he going to be likely to bring? So I definitely think Excelgor is coming. Scizor is just so good against a lot of my team, so I don't think there's a reason for him to not bring it. Hardwall's my Metagross and my Kyurem, which are two things that he really needs to take on. I think Roserade is something that he might want to bring because it's benefiting from Bulu being around, and it can really threaten the team. Then Latios, just because I don't really have a fairy, Latios is like free to Draco spam against me. Not D. Yeah. And then Tapu Koko, Manaphy, Mamoswine, potentially Heatran. I don't really see the Hitmontop. Hitmontop could come because it's a nice check to physical Kyurem, but aside from that, I guess Cobalion. But my team isn't extraordinarily physical in the way that Hitmontop wants to beat it. Like, it can't take on my Metagross that well. And Garb is a mon that he could bring for the hazard stack, but he has that in Roserade, and Roserade's intrinsically better than Garb because it's checking more of my team. So I think we'll be seeing something like that. So let's get these EV spreads done with. HP Flying, Volt Switch, T-Bolt. Yeah, for aforementioned reasons, we do want Scarf Thundy in the back, just in case. How much is HP Flying doing to stuff? So, Thunderous, Thunderous, just, yeah. And Power Flying, if I'm, yeah, it does half, which is good. But if he's at +1 Spadef, it's not doing half, but it's still doing a pretty chunk to it. I really wish I could take advantage of electric terrain, but I'm just gonna run fast so that I can outrun his Latios no matter what, because a Scarf Latios could be a thing that could come to like outrun a Scarf Kyurem. So I'm at 352, I guess, yeah. And we can just put the 8 into HP. So we have that nice even number, and Thunderous is Judge. That's the name that I had for it way back in the day, back in LBA time. I've had Thunderous a fair bit. I really like them on. I'm not a huge fan of the Scarf set, just because it's not his best set, but in this matchup, I think it's the most useful for my team. Blastoise, let's think about this. I don't really need Blastoise to be all that offensive. I think a bulkier set would be a little better in this matchup. So let's make it so we can take a +1 Giga Drain from a full. I think Blastoise can do that either way. Blastoise, Mega, +1, let's say Life Orb. Okay, after rocks. We're just going worst case scenario. Of course, he could be like the other thing that would be very scary, the Z move, but that's a whole different ballpark of spook. So 100 in Spadef gets us there, and that should also let me take hits from the Manaphy a little better. Let's just see if I can take a +3 Energy Ball. Do I want to? Can I? Is it something worth investing in? If I'm calm 100, I can take the hit and I can roar him out, which is something that would be pretty decent against him. 252 and then 100 plus and then minus attack. Yeah, calm, and then I can throw the rest into something like defense. Let's just make sure that I can do some stuff. So yeah, I've got roar on that, so that's good. So that means he can't sit up with Manaphy against me, which I definitely do not want. And I should have a fair bit of ways to offensively check the Manaphy. Let's see, is there anything else? Let's see how much. I mean, if I can take a +3. Let's see, can I take a Draco Meteor with the Z move? Oh, there we go. Nice. Let's zoom that in. I can take a Life Orb, Devastating Drake, and I can take a Devastating Drake. I can take a Choice Specs Draco. Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's good. I want to be able to take that hit. I doubt that I can take a hit from Tapu Koko, but let's just see. I can't if he's Life Orb, but if he's like Choice Scarfed, or if he's not boosting, then I can take the hit, which is pretty rad. And Scald does a ton. Wow. Yeah, Blastoise is strong. First the Scizor Mega. Scald does a lot. I want to have enough power to be able to, if he's like Spadef SD. This is a really just silly. Oh, I'm not even clicking the right stat. Okay, 88 special attack. Well, I have roar, so that's not even a question. Like, I can just roar out if he's something interesting like substitute. Let's see, any other things that I want to be able to do with this? I think just the rest into defense so that I can take a hit from the Mamoswine sounds great. So I've been using Blastoise more bulky, but I think on this team I have so much offensive pressure that it doesn't need to be offensive. So we've got Sneck with Shell coming back for the 3rd straight week, because Blastoise, or 3rd straight week? What week is this? No, we didn't bring it last week. Just kidding. I lied. So yeah, Talonflame. Let's see. We want to outrun that Latios. So we are going to outrun the Latios. We have to hit 351, I believe. Yeah. I should know that speed number by now, but yeah, it's whatever. 351. Silly jump numbers. Can I hit this Adamant? I don't think I can. I can. Interesting. So I can be Adamant. However, I think I want to be fast and bulky versus this team, because I want this to be able to switch into. I want to be able to kind of handle the Latios potentially. I want it to be able to deal with the Scizor really well and the Roserades. So I think being fast and bulky and then having the ability to set up is the way to go here. So let's go max HP, and then I think I want to throw this into Spadef so that I can take hits from the Volcarona. So let's just look. Talonflame with 132 in Spadef. Obviously I can't be careful, but, well, I will be careful, but I can't be careful natured. Draco Meteor can kill me. That's a little spooky, but that's too bad. But what if I'm 248? Yeah, it still kills probably. But if he's like Scarf Draco or something like that, which I wouldn't count out, it outspeeds a fair bit of my team, but it's definitely something he could do. Or he might not even bring it at all, because I have like Metagross, which can easily Pursuit Trap it, which would be kind of cool. Yeah. Do I want to run U-turn over Volt Switch? I kind of do. But at the same time, that Volt Switch chip is just good, and he's a man if he switches in Mamoswine, though. I'll just have to be careful with that. Well, if I don't have a way to hit it, I think U-turn is going to be the way to go. So I'll just be a coward and run with that. So you've got nice defensive win con. And yeah, Flame Body, very nice for the Sizz. And Roost SD, 2 attacks with fast, with speed and stuff. That should be fine. Nidoqueen, let's see, is there anything I want to outrun that I'm not outrunning right now? Heatran, would he run max speed for my Nidoqueen? Possibly. I'm just going to make it so my Nidoqueen outruns a bulky Heatran and Garbodor and those kind of guys, so let's just say you're not offensive. Modest, whatever. 190. So let's hit like 195. Let's do like 198. And then I think I just want to go max attack so that I'm denting his team, and then just let's go max HP and then map the rest into attack, because that sounds fine. Why do I even have... I had it for his Tapu Koko, right? So I want to make sure that I can take like 2 Life Orb HP Ices after... Yeah, I want to make sure I can take that hit. Because I don't think Specs would be the way to go against my team, but he could do it anyways. So I can just take it with max HP, so that's cool. Even after rocks, yeah, so the Black Sludge recovery puts me over the edge. And I'll take that because Nidoqueen does do a fair job of threatening his team. Alright, Talonflame is Bay, and Nidoqueen, my pointy doggo. Then Kyurem. Kyurem, I want to outrun the Roserade, just straight up. I don't know if he speed creeps, I'm not going to risk it. Roserade's a big threat and I want to be able to outrun it. 307 is the speed that I want to hit. So that'll probably be like 198. No, I was off by a few. 30. Jump numbers. Sadness. Then max attack and 40 into HP, I think, is what I want to do. Yeah, just a nice wall breaker is cool. And yeah, cool and ice is my nickname. And lastly, we've got Greg. So that's a team. And I think this one didn't take as long, though it's probably still really long. I haven't checked the time. Yeah, I think that's pretty decent. I'm going to naive on this just so that U-turns have a little power, since I kind of like it for being able to hit the Latios for damage as well. So that's a thing. Let's just make this 248 and throw that little bit into Spadef. That's good HP numbers. I don't care if you're even. I care if you're even. Wait, does he have any Seismic Toss mons that I would take advantage of? No, not really. Lastly, I want to make sure that Kyurem can actually like take some hits. Kyurem Black 40. Because I probably don't even need max attack versus his team. Like, let's run some calcs. So all I have is Dragon Claw and that thing. So let's just see. Jolly, Fusion Bolt, Dragon Claw. Fusion Bolt does a lot. I want to at least be able to 2-hit KO this Koko with, let's just see how much Dazzling does as well. Dazzle Young. I can't spell, as always. It can't kill me, which is cool, if he's Life Orb. Unless rocks are up, which they very well could be. A 68% chance to 2-hit KO after rocks, so... I want to see Roserade. Sludge Bomb bounces off. My word. I can take 2 of those, which is pretty cool. And Dragon Claw just does a million to this thing. Main one is Latios. Can I take the Draco with Hobbenberry after Stealth Rocks? Up on. Yeah, I want to be able to take that hit. That's a big thing for me. So let's invest. I'm gonna have to have like max HP to be able to take the hit though. Yeah, I don't like that. but I still need Hobbenberry for it. So I just got to keep rocks off the field in that case, and it's just as an offensive check to it. Like, if it's a lead matchup, then I can just Dragon Claw it and kill it, and then big threat to the team is gone. So that's definitely interesting. Not bringing Metagross could be silly on my part, but I really like how these 6 function. And yeah, that's gonna be it, and I'll see you guys at the battle. Bye. What's going on, everybody? Back here for the battle portion of this thing. I have to remind myself that I'm doing this is the second part of a video, and we just got the battle request, so let's just quickly go over the team. I don't think I changed anything. So we've got Gracium Z, Battle Bond Gren with 4 attacks, really destroys his team. Bulky Nidoqueen for the Tapu Koko with a little speed for something. I forget. SD, Talonflame, a defensive Mega Blastoise, and Scarf Thunderous. So let's get into it. Alright, it's custom game, so I have to unmega my Blastoise because that would be rude. Alright, click the home button. Let's get into it. Okay, so the 6 that we end up seeing are, let's first off have fun. So we see Roserade, Manaphy, the Heatran, Mamoswine, Excelgor, and Mega Scizor. So this is pretty much what I expected, and for the life of me I cannot remember what his team is, so I'm just gonna look at it real quick. Okay, so the big 3 I'm not seeing are Latios, Volcarona, and the Tapu Koko. Very happy to not see any of those. I definitely think that's going to be a bulkier variant of Roserade for my Greninja. Could even be Assault Vest or like Full on Spadef with Berry. My Hobbenberry on Kyurem is kind of useless now, and I definitely think I would not be surprised to see a Spikes set on his Excelgor. So with that in mind, I think that Nidoqueen's a pretty good lead versus his team. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and do that. He's going to lead with the Excelgor. I want to see, do I have /DT Excelgor /DT Nidoqueen? I do have more HP than this, so he can't knock me out with like a final Gambit. So what I want to do here is just go for the Fire Punch and break a potential Sash, because yeah, I did expect the Spikes to go out, and that's great because now what I can do is get my Stealth Rocks up. And this play was just to avoid getting final Gambited to the face, and I don't believe this thing can do like anything that can remotely hurt my Nidoqueen. And because he doesn't have his Tapu Koko, I can play a little more fast and loose with this guy. So that's going to be good for me. But yeah, laying up Stealth Rocks is going to be nice. I definitely should be able to Rapid Spin, as he is going to Spike, and that's totally okay with me. So I get my rocks up, and unless he wants to defog, which I don't see a reason for him doing that, I think I'm going to have him up. So he's going to be able to get up all 3 layers, and I'm just going to go for the Crunch right here, I guess, and get rid of it. So we basically trade hazards for hazards, but I'm going to just try and get rid of those as soon as I can. And yeah, he's got the Manaphy, which is definitely an immediate threat to come set up. He has not seen an item. If he brings in Mamoswine, okay, he is going to just bring the Mamo in. And I don't exactly have a switch into this thing. I really don't think that my... What do I find more useful in this game? Is Kyurem more useful or this Nidoqueen? Because I want to get my Blastoise in for free right here, and he's just got a free Icicle Crash or Earthquake, and with the Spikes up, I'm pretty positive, I'll just double check, that my Blastoise cannot take this hit because I'm more specially defensive. So there's Mamoswine, just max attack Life Orb. After spikes, I'm going to get to it KO'd, and I don't exactly want that. So, I think he's more inclined to go for the Icicle Crash. Let's see if we can live that with our Nidoqueen. I probably cannot. Yeah, I just die. Yeah, getting rid of these spikes is really, really important, and I can, Nidoqueen is looking like the least useful member because it was here for the Tapu Koko, so I'm just going to fire off a Quake right here, as he is not going to knock me out, so it shows he's not Life Orb, which is fantastic. So that makes me want to believe he could be Scarfed, because yeah, that didn't do enough, that didn't do a lot. Leftovers, yeah, Icicle Crash did 81, so that looks like it was a Mineral, which could be a little unfortunate. It did 50%, so yeah, looks like he got Mineral there, but it doesn't really matter too much, and I'm just going to click Earthquake once again. Is there any reason not to do that? No, unless he's Balloon Tran, which wouldn't make a ton of sense. So he's going to get the Icicle Crash off, and I'm just going to take this opportunity to get my spin off with Blastoise, because these spikes are going to be very annoying. And yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. I can take a hit from this thing, and I don't really need my Blastoise for much of anything. Or I shouldn't. The Heatran could be a threat given, so I'm just gonna have to keep my Mons healthy, as he is going to stay in and he's going to Earthquake me, and that actually did nothing. That did pretty much 0. So now I'm feeling inclined to... Do I even want to consider keeping this and going into Talonflame here? So that just bounced off me. Blastoise, Mega. Snack with Shell. So that Earthquake just, bounced off. So it looks like another Mineral, so he might not even be max attack, judging by that. And let's see if Talonflame can come in on this, because if I don't have to sack Stoice, that'd be kind of nice for me. And I'm going to go for it. He is going to actually go into his Manaphy, however. And he's Leftovers, so that's good to know. Well, can he kill me here? Can a Manaphy without a boost knock me out? Just, a Surf can't kill me. Acrobatics isn't doing a ton. However, will a +3 Dazzling Gleam knock out my Kyurem is another thing that I have to look at. Cool and Ice. Because, I mean, I'd assume that he has the Dazzling Gleam. So, +3, he can knock me out with that. So this makes me want to just go hard out into my Thundurus. Because, yeah. Oh, he is Calm Mind. Okay. Well, given these Calm Mind, I'm going to immediately go for the U-turn right here. And just go hard into my Kyurem. Because that makes me believe that he'd be the Rain Rest set. And, I don't know if he'd want to just stay in on this thing, knowing that I could be a Z move or something, so he might want to scout for that. But, Calm Mind is definitely scary, but I've got Roar on my Blastoise, and I've got my Fusion Bolt, Kyurem, and let's just see. Well, let's just go for the U-turn right now. That's definitely the play that I think I want to make. Just because he's Calm Mind, I want to believe that he's going to be Mono Scald. And if that is the case, then 1, he might be bulky and slower than my Kyurem, and 2, he won't be able to do that much damage to my Kyurem. So those are 2 things that I got to keep in mind right here. He brought it in on my Blastoise. That doesn't tell me a lot. That probably does tell me that he's bulky, because he wouldn't want to take a Dark Pulse or an Aura Sphere unless he was fat. So yeah, I don't know if he'll want to stay in, because like I could crit him, I could be physical, because physical wouldn't be the worst thing to bring against him with like Z Fly, because that would just completely annihilate his core. So this is a little toss-up right here, but he is going to make that play. I kind of thought he would, and he's Salakberry. Interesting, and we crit him. That's unfortunate. I don't know if it mattered. Let's just take a quick calc. Thunderous. Well, I have a lot of Thunderous sets on here. That's unfortunate. Here, Mamo, Wall Breaker. That was a roll. Yeah, so that was a roll to knock him out, but I definitely had a chance. Okay, and that puts the ball in my court, and if I go into Talonflame, then he either goes into his Heatran or he goes out into his Manaphy. I think the play that I want to make the most is just go into my Greninja and force his hand to see what his response to this is. And if I can get the cheeky Grass Z or Bloom Doom off on the Manaphy, that would be Christmas. Yeah, so we'll see what he's got. I think it'll be Roserade. He has got the Scizor, of course, though, and my immediate answer to that is to just hard into my Talonflame, because I do have HP Fire, but I know I can't knock him out, and a U-turn's going to do a lot. He is going to U-turn. Can we get the Flame Body? We do not. That's unfortunate. I can calc the damage, though, just for fun. So that definitely makes me believe that, well, let's just see. Scizor. Mega U-turn did 10, so that really doesn't tell me a whole lot. This thing's a threat. I'm gonna go into my Blastoise right here. Yeah, Blastoise is the least useful Mon, so what I can do, if he's Z Sunny Day, this could be a little interesting. Okay, he's got the Z move. It is Z Sunny Day. Alright. Well, I am prepared for this. I can deal with this, I think. So, let's start running some calcs. We're going to Scald right here. He's going to Solar Beam me. Yeah, I did fully expect something like that. So, will a combination of my Curum's Bolt Strike and Scarf Thunderous's T-Bolt be able to knock it out? That's what I wonder. So Cool and Ice versus a Heatran with the Z move. Let's just say it's offensive. Fusion Bolt does 39 into Thunderous T, or Thunderous I. Thunderous non-life orb, unfortunately. That looks like it should be enough. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go into this. Obviously he could get scared out right here, but I'm just going to click Fusion Bolt. I can take the Flash Cannon because the only way he could knock me out would be if he had Corkscrew Crash, and he obviously just showed the Sunny Day. And the combination of Bolt Strike into Scarf Thunderbolt should be able to take care of this thing. So, and there's also the question, does he even have like a rock move? If he shows Flash Cannon right here over a rock move, then I think Talonflame can just wall it, which would be really good for me. And I think Talonflame can kind of win the game at this point, which is interesting. He does have the Flash Cannon. I'm gonna hit this. It does 40%. And I can't imagine. There's no way he doesn't have the fire move. There's just no way. So this makes me want to save this. What I can do is go into Talonflame and Roost-stall it potentially, but let's just run some calcs. So Kyurem, Cool and Ice versus this Heatran. Fusion Bolt, it looks like it's just max 8 or 0 HP or some variant like that. Will Thunderous, if I can spell, will Thunderous knock it out right here? Because it's doing 41 to 49. and he's at 48. So I'm gonna sack off my Kyurem right here, and then I'm going to just kind of stall it with Talonflame. He's gonna miss a Fire Blast, and I crit him. Wow, that's I feel really bad. That's very, very unfortunate for him, because now that puts me in a really good spot to win the game. At least he's being a good sport about it. I do feel bad. Obviously, I've been getting unlucky in a lot of my other league matches, but I don't like getting lucky. I don't like getting lucky because I want to win with my own merit, and I think I could have done that. However, that just makes this game a little bit more clear for me and how I can win the game. So now that God has graced me with a living Kyurem, I don't think I have any reason to sack it off, because now Talonflame and Kyurem just kind of win the game. And yeah, well, he had Fire Blast, so I just want to see, I'm pretty sure I could have just stalled him with Talonflame, because my set was very bulky. So a Fire Blast in the sun would have been doing 50% on the dot, so I could have roost-stalled it. And now I have no reason not to just go into my bird. Or is going into Thunderous the play here? I'm just gonna go into my bird. Yeah, he has to Bullet Punch right here. Still no Flame Body, which is a little annoying, but I'm going to be able to Swords Dance right here, and I think this just kind of means that Talonflame's going to go in. No that's fine. I've been lucking him, so there's no reason for me to want the extra luck, though being able to 100% deal with this would have been nice. But if I Swords Dance right here, that means his Manaphy is not going to be able to set up, and that would be very, very good for me, and just putting it in range of my Greninja would be good. So he's going to stay in, and he's going to Swords Dance himself. I do have Flare Blitz though, so I'm just going to get rid of the thing, not mess around with this any longer. Like, he can go for the Bullet Punch right here, but it's not going to knock him out. I am going to get the useless Flame Body now. Am I going to kill myself? No, I'm not going to knock myself out, so that's good. Because now I can see if he's something like Scarf Rose, but no, he's just going to go out into this, and I'm just going to click Acro right here and do a lot. He's going to go for the Scald, and let's just see what that damage shows me, or tells me. Manaphy, a +2 Acro did 49, so would that show me he's max? Could he be fully Fizz Def? No. So that probably means he's like max HP, but he also has a lot of speed on there. Well, let's just go for let's just go with Plan Gren, I suppose. And we might as well try to get the thing off, though. I'm just curious, if he's max HP, will my Greninja just knock him out anyways? Dark Pulse looks like it's just a 2-hit KO, and versus the Roserade, depending on his set, I could just 2-hit KO him after rocks with my Dark Pulse. So I'm going to Dark Pulse right here. I really want to click the button, and I get the flinch, so well, that's what that is. I'm just going to show off my move right here. So I've gotten lucky an insane amount in this game, so really sorry to Brett, but I'm just going to click the move right now and show what I got, because I could have just done it before. And the other things definitely did affect the outcome of this game and how it was going to go down, but I don't think this did, because nothing he could have done would knock out my Greninja. So we'll just go for the Bloom Doom, and get rid of this guy, and then all he has left is a Roserade, which I don't believe will be able to take down the rest of my team in any way, because if he's Choice Scarfed, then he has to lock himself into one move, and it would have to be a grass move to be able to knock me out from full, meaning that I could just go into Thunderous afterwards. I'm not gonna save this Greninja. I'm just gonna make the play of going for the Bloom Doom right here. I don't know if he had any way of winning this game. Maybe he clicked rest right here, but I would have been able to take him out before that happened. So Dark Pulse, okay, well, if he's max HP, yeah. So it looks like he's just max HP, and I'm going to show off the Bloom Doom now and get rid of the thing. And I'm finally going to get Greninja into Ash form, which is cool. A little late at this point, and now we're just going to go for the, I guess just the play is to click Dark Pulse and see if we flinch him. He's not going to get flinched though. He's going to get the crit, didn't matter, I don't think. And now we just click HP Flying with Thunderous, and that should be the game, probably. Yeah, that does a lot. Unless he has Sleep Powder, then things get hairy, but he has Leech Seed instead. So if he's Leech Seed Protect, that could get hairy, but no. Okay, so we're going to take the W right here. GG. Sorry for all of that BS, but we're going to take it 2-0. Despite the hacks, I still think I could have won. It would have been a different path for me to take, but I definitely could have done it. But it would have been hard. And yeah, he's right. It is all for fun. And yeah, so that was the game. We take it 2-0. We now advance to being 4-0 in this league, which is pretty cool. Or 4-0? Or are we 3-0? No, this is our third game, I think. So yeah, that's going to be that. Hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, drop a like, leave a comment, tell me what you thought, and I'll see you guys for another Draft League video soon. Bye.